It's Thursday, October 28th, and this is now on H&N.
They're about betting on America.
I'm Deborah Alfarone at the White House, where President Biden left for his trip to Rome with a new framework in place for his social spending bill. But I'll tell you why some in his party are holding off on holding a vote.
We go forward carefully.
A lot of people talking about this. The city will soon allow large outdoor and indoor venues to operate at full capacity. We'll go through all of the rule changes.
From now on, we're going to be Metaverse first, not Facebook first.
So Facebook is changing its name to Meta in a major rebranding effort. We've got all these stories, plus it's your last chance to enter our Halloween costume contest. Those details coming up on This Is Now. Good afternoon. Thanks for watching. This is now on this Thursday. You got Jonathan and Ashley here in the H&N Digital Center. Want to get started with this, a live picture from Washington, D.C. That's the National Mall there. So many developments coming out of D.C. today.
That's right. After months of negotiations, White House officials believe they have reached a deal that both progressive Democrats in the House and moderate Democrats in the Senate will agree to, potentially paving the way for passage of the president's Build Back Better agenda. Deborah Alfarone has the details from the White House.
President Joe Biden has embarked on a multi-day trip to Europe to meet with world leaders. Before leaving, he huddled with House Democrats on Capitol Hill to push his revamped Build Back Better bill framework.
This framework includes historic investments in our nation and in our people.
The $1.75 trillion plan includes universal pre-K for all 3- and 4-year-olds, an extension of the child tax credit, and a reduction in health plan premiums under the Affordable Care Act. But it leaves out proposals for paid family leave, free community college, and a tax on billionaires.
No one got everything they wanted, including me. But that's what compromise is.
The president's framework, which also includes a $500 billion investment in climate change initiatives, is expected to be paid for through taxes on the nation's wealthiest individuals and corporations.
The text is there for you to review, for you to complain about, for you to add to, for subtract from, whatever it is, and we'll see what consensus emerges from that.
Progressives in the House say they will not vote on the president's $1 trillion infrastructure bill until the spending plan is ready for a vote as well.
We intend to vote for both bills when the Build Back Better Act is ready.
We have the opportunity to really uplift and strengthen our economy.
Meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris discussed the new Build Back Better framework during a roundtable with a bipartisan group of mayors. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Washington.
We're going to revisit this topic coming up in just a few moments. We're going to take you live to Rome, where our White House correspondent is standing by. That's where the president is headed, and he's planning to meet with the Pope. Again, that's coming up live in just a few minutes. Today, the state reported 126 new COVID infections, bringing the total number of cases since the start of the pandemic to 83,832. The state also confirmed 2 more fatalities. The death toll now stands at 891.
We've finally come to a long-awaited moment with good news. We go forward carefully, we go forward with love in our hearts and concern for our public, but we go forward.
Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi is taking drastic steps to reopen Oahu, and some of the COVID rules are being eased against the recommendations of the state. The city will soon allow many indoor and outdoor events to operate at full capacity. That means fully vaccinated people are welcome back to UH Games, the Honolulu Marathon, concerts, plays, conventions, and much more. Blangiardi says another COVID spike could reverse those rules, but as for now, the new normal starts in less than a week. As of November 3rd, outdoor and indoor seated events can be at 100% capacity. There will be no limits on road races, and interactive events like weddings and funerals can have up to 150 people. And then in late November, the cap increases to 300. There are all kinds of protocols to follow on food and drinks and masking, but businesses tell us they'll make it work. Ben Gutierrez has more reaction.
Many industries are thrilled to hear about the city's reopening plans, but they're still cautious because they've seen restrictions return as cases have spiked in the past. It's definitely welcome news for Hawaii's visitor industry, with the state welcoming the return of non-essential travel November 1st.
September, October was going to be slow, but it was exacerbated by the fact of telling people not to come to Hawaii then. And we needed to build on this momentum to get us going for November and December.
It means more events are possible, including a larger Honolulu Marathon with no limit on runners, and a return of audiences to live events like concerts that had been postponed.
We had a lot of things on the schedule that had to be pushed, and a lot of artists that were like, well, we're not even going to have that conversation until we have a date.
There are some concerts already coming up, including Henry Kapono, Daryl Hall and John Oates, and popular comedian Joe Coy. Then there's local theater.
This is a day we've been waiting a long time for, 20 months at least, before the last time we had a full house, if not more.
Diamond Head Theater has been at 50% capacity. Ticket sales for a full house make up about 40% of its revenue, but it won't be a packed house come November 3rd.
We're going to judiciously add some seats to each show starting on Thursday, next week Thursday, and then take it from there.
Wedding planners are also greeting the news with a mix of excitement and caution.
I do have a couple weddings, for example, in January. And they're like, well, what if case counts go up over the holidays?
The city is also requiring all attendees at entertainment events, weddings and funerals, and road races to be fully vaccinated, with no exceptions.
You have, some families where their father is not vaccinated, the sister is not vaccinated, and it's putting families in a really, really tough situation.
Mayor Blangiardi also requested to allow Oahu restaurants and bars to operate at full capacity. Those fall under the governor's emergency proclamation. He says Governor Ige is considering that request. Ben Gutierrez, Hawaii News Now.
The holidays are right around the corner and gifts are already being delivered across the state. So the United States Postal Service says it's looking to hire close to 600 new employees in Hawaii. USPS officials say they need to fill 275 entry-level positions and 300 seasonal positions to keep up with the busy holiday season. Starting pay for the available positions, which include clerks, mail processing, and mail carriers, range from $18 an hour to almost $21 an hour. If you're interested, head to usps.com/careers, click on Apply Now, and select Hawaii to begin the application process.
So everyone is talking about this story online. Facebook has changed its corporate name to Meta as part of a major rebranding effort. The company said it would better encompass what it does as it broadens its reach beyond social media into areas like virtual reality. The change does not apply to its individual platforms, such as Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, only the parent company that owns them. The move follows a series of negative stories about Facebook based on documents leaked by an ex-employee.
Our mission remains the same. It's still about bringing people together. Our apps and their brands, they're not changing either. And we are still the company that designs technology around people. But now we have a new North Star to help bring the metaverse to life. And we have a new name that reflects the full breadth of what we do.
So this really isn't the first time something like this has happened. You may recall back in 2015, Google restructured its company, calling its parent firm Alphabet. However, the name has not really caught on. Well, in her first international television interview in years, Taiwan's president is talking to CNN's Will Ripley about those rising tensions with China. Here, I wanted to play out a portion of that interview.
Is Taiwan more safe today than it was when you became president in 2016?
If it's a threat from China, it's increasing every day.
Are you interested in speaking with President Xi? Would you like to have more communication with him?
Well, More communication would be helpful so that we would reduce misunderstanding, given our differences in terms of our political systems. We can sit down and talk about our differences and try to make arrangements so that we would be able to coexist peacefully.
Your predecessor, as you know, did meet with President Xi. Why do you think that the communication has really gone south since 2016?
Well, I think the situation has changed a lot, and China's plan towards the region is very different.
Does that support include sending some U.S. service members to help train Taiwanese troops?
Well, yes. We have a wide range of cooperation with the U.S. Aiming at increasing our defense capability.
How many U.S. service members are deployed in Taiwan right now?
Not as many as people thought. People have different interpretation of what President Biden has said.
Do you have faith that the United States would defend Taiwan if the mainland were to try to move on Taiwan?
I do have faith, and given the long-term relationship that we have with the U.S. and also the support of the people of the U.S. as well as the Congress and the administration has been very helpful. We have to expedite our military reform so that we have the ability to defend ourselves. And given the size of Taiwan compared to the size of the PRC, developing asymmetric capability is the key for us.
How prepared is Taiwan today?
We are trying to make us stronger in every aspect, and it includes our military capability and our international support.
You talked about how really the situation is so complex now.
Yeah, it is very complex. This is probably the most challenging time for people of Taiwan.
You read the outside headlines, the most dangerous place on earth.
We read these reports as a reminder to us as to what sort of the threats that we're under, and we have to get ourselves better prepared. But we're not panicked, we're not anxious because we have gone through so many difficulties in the past.
And as we mentioned earlier, President Biden is on his way to Europe for the G20 summit, which brings together leaders from the world's most powerful nations. We want to bring in now John Decker. He's Hawaii News Now's White House correspondent, and he's joining us live from Rome. Good to see you, John. We'll get right to it now. On Friday, the president is expected to meet with Pope Francis, and there's a lot of controversy surrounding this meeting. Can you explain that for our viewers?
Well, sure. The president expected to land here in Rome in just a few hours. His first meeting tomorrow will indeed be with Pope Francis. It's the fourth time, Ashley, that President Biden will be meeting with Pope Francis, but his first time as president. The controversy comes from conservative U.S. bishops. They're upset that President Biden, who considers himself both devout Catholic and pro-choice, still gets communion, still takes communion, and still offer communion. They want to see that ended by Catholic priests around the world in terms of pro-choice politicians taking communion. That is not a position held by Pope Francis. In fact, this issue will not come up at all during their meeting tomorrow at the Vatican.
And what are they expected to discuss at this meeting, John?
Well, there are a number of things that the White House has indicated that will be discussed between President Biden and Pope Francis. Two issues in particular, global poverty and also climate change. These two issues are issues that are important to Pope Francis and also important to President Biden. And this is a personal meeting to a certain extent beyond the formal aspect of it. This is a meeting that President Biden has said that he looks forward to for quite some time. Of course, the First Lady, Jill Biden, will join President Biden in that meeting tomorrow, and we'll get a readout of it, of course, afterwards. The unusual nature of this meeting, however, is that the traditional live television pictures of the president meeting with Pope Francis will not be shown live. In fact, the Vatican has said that they will send out their own version of the meeting, which will be edited. This is not something that has happened before. The last time a U.S. president, President Trump, met with Pope Francis, those pictures were sent out live. The pictures that we'll see tomorrow, the video that we'll see tomorrow, will be taken by the Vatican, and we'll see an edited version of those greetings that come at the top of their meeting.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting development today. And Biden will also be meeting with the president of France face to face. Talk about the importance of this sit-down meeting.
It's really important, Ashley. It's important because the U.S. relationship with France has always been a close one. They're one of our closest allies, but not in the past few months. Relations are kind of rocky right now, and that's a big reason for this meeting that will take place late tomorrow afternoon. The reason those relations are rocky is because the U.S. partnered with the U.K. in providing nuclear technology to the submarine industry for Australia, and that effectively killed a deal that Australia had with France. That in turn meant that France lost $66 billion and thousands of jobs. And as a result, France is upset at the U.S., at the UK, and Australia. So the meeting tomorrow, Ashley, is really meant to mend fences between the two countries and mend fences between these two leaders.
Right, and now turning to the G20 summit, John, what topics is the president expected to focus on?
Well, some major pocketbook issues that you and everybody else in Hawaii is dealing with right now. The supply chain issues, you know this, some products that you typically see in a supermarket or a big box store are not there, or maybe fewer than what you typically see. That a supply chain issue is not just a U.S. problem or an Hawaii problem, it's a global problem. So that will be one issue that will be discussed. The other issue is rising energy prices, and you know this as well. Every time you fill up your car or truck with gas, you know how much gas has risen over the course of just the past 30 days. So that too will be discussed between President Biden and other G20 leaders during the course of the G20 summit.
All right, John Decker, live from Rome. Thank you for being with us, John. And now for a check on our weather here at home, here's Guy Hoggy.
We're seeing a few light passing showers here in Oahu and over on Kauai, but overall rainfall totals will be skimpy. And today's the last day for trade winds running 10 to 15, maybe a little stronger for Maui County. And with all the sunshine expected, UV index will be at 8. Now starting tomorrow, things were going to change because light variable winds take over. But with those light winds, surf conditions will be awesome. We do have a little bit of a reinforcement coming into north and west shores. Bigger waves, bigger swells in on the weekend and early next week, so watch for that. South Shore is going to see a modest pulse pickup today, but heads up, box jellyfish will be swimming in. So again, trade wind weather today, a few passing showers, yes, but lots of sunshine. Even more sunshine early with the variable winds taking over for the next several days. We're also expecting some spotty afternoon showers from Friday through Monday. So things are looking good for the long stretch with a very drama-free weather.
Ooh. Halloween time, guys, Halloween time, and we are so excited about this. You have minutes left to submit your photos for our This Is Now Birthday Bash Halloween contest. Literally, that contest is going to close in minutes, guys, so upload those photos now to our H&N digital platforms. I just put the story at the top of our webpage, and I have to show you guys this because my mom's been digging through the photo album.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that's me. She loved paper mache, can you tell? Yeah, that's me as Bert with just like the perfect Bert expression on my face
and
there.
And the unibrow.
Yep. Oh, yeah. That's really my real unibrow. That's how it looks. That's me as a cowboy, and check out that macrame back there. And I think that's me as a St. Louis Cardinals baseball player on the screen right. You guys, again, submit those photos. HawaiiNewsNow.com for our special costume contest. You are competing for our grand prize for gift cards to the International Marketplace's awesome restaurants. You can do that right now. You only have minutes left. All right, let's move on to some other news.
Yeah, hard liquor is coming back to domestic flights on United Airlines. So the carrier is planning to begin selling mini bottles of booze on economy flights at least 301 miles in length on November 15th. Now, United Economy passengers have only been able to buy wine and beer for about a year now. American and Southwest Airlines aren't planning to bring back alcohol sales until at least January. That's when the federal mask mandate is currently expected to end. Now, mandatory masking is linked to those passenger disruptions you've been seeing all over the news, which can get worse when alcohol is involved. So, very interesting decision by United.
Yeah, they're bringing it back, and it's got to be a moneymaker for them, really, because you're trapped with no other access to the booze, so you have to buy it from them. All right, guys, we are talking about a really cool event in modern marvel that is unfolding by some Japanese inventors. Let's turn it over to Ian Lee with more on a flying car that's going to be coming to the market.
This could be your next commute for a cool $700,000. Hover bikes from a Japanese startup are now on sale to carry travelers above the daily congestion. Until now, we could only move on ground or at scale in the sky, says the company's CEO. We hope to offer a new method by hovering in the air. The electric bikes can travel 40 minutes at up to 60 miles per hour. Right now, one of the main obstacles to getting off the ground isn't the technology, it's government regulation and safety concerns. But in Italy, one German startup, Volocopter, sees blue skies ahead for its flying taxis.
This is our goal in the next 2 to 3 years, to get the commercial license from the European Aviation Safety Agency to then start our commercial operations.
The battery-powered taxis use 18 motors to lift 2 passengers and their luggage into the air, offering a ride to the airport above Rome's notoriously bad traffic.
The time for connection will be probably 15 minutes, maybe a bit more, but of course much less than what you will do with a normal taxi.
But not the fare. A ticket is expected to cost about $175 per person, putting a price on peace of mind and showing the sky is no longer the limit, just an easier way to get around. Ian Lee, CBS News.
Very cool. Told you, modern marvel. Modern marvel. All right, guys, let's check this out. We've been talking about those Winter Olympics, and Ralph Lauren just released the picture of what our Olympians will be wearing. Really, sustainability is key here. They are using recycled polyester as part of these uniforms. As you can see, they're really trendy. They look very, very Team USA. The gloves are made of recycled material, and very cool winter down coats, which the down inside is also made of recycled materials.
I like them. I like the plaid.
Yeah, I mean, I have not worn a coat like that in so long.
Oh.
I'd be burning up. So the Today Show tomorrow, they have their own tradition, like we have our Halloween costume contest. They do something special every year,
Oh,
right?
yeah. It's the most anticipated show of the year for them. Halloween on the Today Show tomorrow morning, and the team is back outside on the plaza for their big costume reveal. So this is an exclusive look at the preparations. So they're kind of giving us a clue. I don't know if you can figure it out,
I can't figure anything out other than there's pyrotechnic fog machines going on there. And some dance moves. They're like pulling out the dance moves for sure this year.
Yeah.
And
just gonna have to watch.
Yeah. I'm excited. They really do go all out every year. And then just one more reminder, guys. You have minutes left to submit your photos to the This Is Now Halloween costume contest for this year. Just head to hawaiinewsnow.com. It's going to be closing in just minutes. We want to see your costumes. The grand prize winners will receive gift cards to the International Marketplace's awesome restaurants. You guys, that's all the time we have here today for This Is Now, and a really fun show. I really enjoyed it. But Ashley's going to be back here at 4 on KHNL. You don't want to miss that for all the updates from throughout the day.
Aloha.